With the upcoming release of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel, PlayStation and Vita owners should start getting interested in the Legend of Heroes series. Not only is that Vita game upcoming, The Legend of Heroes also graced the PSP in what is commonly known as one of the most praised RPGs on Sony's original handheld console. I recently received a review key for The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky second chapter, but I thought I shouldn't jump in with my site with game number 2. So here's my retro review of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky first chapter, or otherwise officially titled The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Trails in the Sky's story revolves around two characters, Estelle Bright and her adopted brother Joshua. These two are on their way to become fully fledged bracers, which are more or less guild members that help protect towns and fight monsters. That's a pretty typical or cliche job in RPGs. When their father is pulled away on important business and disappears, the two of them, along with their mentor, journey around the world not only to get fully fledged bracer licenses, but also to investigate the incident and disappearance of their father. The story of Trails in the Sky isn't a typical JRPG story, but it's still a very entertaining story. The dialogue itself is set in a very casual way, not casual as in Hyperdimension Neptunia casual, but casual in the fact that there's a lot of comedy thrown in. Trails in the Sky is a console-style turn-based RPG with strategy elements thrown into the mix. As you progress through the game, you'll be going around a world map. You don't have a completely overhead view of the map like you do in the Neptunia games or in Final Fantasy games. The exploration through the map is done in a very similar fashion to how it's done in the East games, like East 7 and East Memories of Celceta. You'll have towns you can go through where you can talk to NPCs, spawn story events, do side quests, upgrade your equipment and skills, among other things, and you'll also have fields and dungeons you can go through to fight monsters and bosses. Combat is the most unique aspect of the game because it kind of melds two different types of RPGs into one. When you first spawn on a battlefield, you will be in a certain spot and the enemy party will be in a certain spot. Take turns in a normal turn-based RPG, but range and movement are big factors here. While your skills and magic do not have range limitations, regular attacks do have limitations. Moving forward to get to the enemies to fight them has you exploring a sort of grid type area, which really gives the feel of a grid type movement from strategy RPGs. Along with this, there are a few other aspects of combat. As you take damage, you can fill up a meter to use your ultimate attacks, much like the limit breaks from Final Fantasy VII, and you have various types of points that can be used for various types of skills. After you win a battle, you gain experience like most RPGs and can level up, but you also get Seraph items which you can use to enhance your skills in shops. The two last things to talk about with gameplay are normal things I talk about in my review, difficulty and time. As far as difficulty is concerned, Trails in the Sky is not an easy RPG to play. If at any time you decide to skip going to a weapon and armor shop to upgrade your equipment, or you pass up one of the shops that can enhance your skills, you are going to pay for it dearly. As you play through the game, even in the prologue, the enemies will get very difficult very quickly. This isn't an RPG where you can just kind of fly through the game on your own. Now with length, if you don't go out of your way to do a bunch of extra side missions and everything, you'll still be spending at least 40 hours with the story, if not more. Needless to say, this is a very long RPG, and with all of the current sales going on because of the release of second chapter, it's definitely worth your money. As far as the presentation is concerned, the visuals do look nice, but they don't look as nice as they did on the PSP. The visuals themselves, if you looked at them on a PSP or on a PC, they looked very crisp and clear for a PSP game. However, when you stretch the game out on the PS Vita and PlayStation TV, a lot of it really starts to blur out to a very noticeable point. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky is one of the most highly praised RPGs on the PSP, and it's pretty obvious why. Past some blurring with the visuals, RPG fans will find a 40-hour adventure that is both comical and provides a unique blend of turn-based and strategy elements that is really unique with RPGs nowadays. I rate The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky first chapter a 9 out of 10. If you'd like to comment on this further, as always, you can do so below or head to my site.